Even if your colors look good, most digital camera files are going to need a little bit of touch-up. Let's see how to fix some of the most common problems. In our Chapter 11 folder, we're going to open up 3 images this time. I want you to select Aberration, and then with the Command key on the Mac, Control key on the PC, I want you to select the image titled Crop, and then holding down the Command key on the Mac, Control on the PC, select Spotting. We're going to open up those 3 images in Camera Raw. Now let's start down here with the bottom image, Spotting. When we spot an image, we simply clean up defects and imperfections. And we've got a few in here. I'm going to zoom in to 100% view. Always view it 100% when you're going to be cleaning up an image. That will save you a lot of embarrassment later on when people zoom in and say, hey, that's not a very clean spotting job. We're going to remove the tea leaf that is stuck to the side of this teapot. Our spot removal tool is located in the tools bar. We're simply going to select that, and we have a radius set to 1, so we need a much larger brush size. Let's go and set this to about 6. I'm increasing this number by pressing my right arrow key. I could also just enter the number 6, or obviously move the slider with my mouse. Should work pretty well. There we go, much nicer size. I'm simply going to click, and Camera Raw automatically does its best to find an appropriate point to sample from. That's a pretty good spot, except it's picking up a little defect in the cup here and duplicating that, so I'm just simply going to bring our sampling point over on the other side of the image, and we'll turn off the show overlay so we can get a clear look at what we've done. That looks pretty good. I'll make this a little bit wider, and let's try that. Perfect. Can't tell that it was done at all. Let's try something a little bit more difficult. With this tea leaf that's stuck, the problem is that it's butting up right against the edge. When you have a light and dark edge, that's a much more problematic issue to solve. But have no fear, we're going to go through this step by step. I'm going to reduce my brush size a bit because this fix is actually going to require 2 separate brushes. We'll set a radius of 4. I'm going to get rid of the bulk of the leaf here simply by clicking. And Camera Raw does a pretty good job of selecting there. Actually, it looks great. We're going to leave that. Now we're going to fix this area. So a separate click with the spot removal tool. And here you can see Camera Raw runs into some issues. I'm going to manually set the sampling point here. And now I'm going to adjust my removal point so that I can get this edge lined up. That looks pretty good. Let's turn off the overlay. Not bad if I do say so myself. So we've removed 2 spots there. Let's go up to our crop file. Now if we'd like to crop an image, we can simply go in the toolbar, select the crop tool. If we click and hold on the crop, we can use it in normal mode. That lets us drag a freeform crop. If we want to constrain ourselves to a certain ratio, we could choose 1:1. That'll give us a square, for example. Got plenty of other choices here, and you can also create your custom ratios. We're going to leave this set to normal, and I can simply click and drag a crop rectangle. When I release it, I can press the enter key to commit, and there we have a crop. Obviously with this image there's another problem. It is not straight. So we're going to back out of this, choose undo with the Command Z on the Mac, Control Z on the PC. Now instead of choosing the crop tool, we're going to select the straighten tool located just next to it. With the straighten tool, you look for something in your image that's supposed to be straight and simply drag along it with this tool. I'm going to choose the first row of bricks here above this detail work. So I'm going to click on the left edge, hold the mouse, and I'll release it when I get somewhere over to the right and take care to keep my mouse located in the center of these bricks. So if I let go there, I now have a crop rectangle. You can see at the top of the toolbar that the crop tool is selected. And I can drag any one of these points and refine my crop. I'll come down just a little there from the top, but I'll move up a lot from the bottom. We'll do something like that. And I'll simply press the enter key to commit, and there we have a much straighter image. The last thing I want to show you is how to fix the phenomenon of chromatic aberration. Well, what is chromatic aberration? It's a fancy term. I'll zoom into 100% here with Command plus on the Mac, Control plus on the PC. And let's shift over. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. Take a look at this American Express logo, and you can also see it in the black graphic on his shirt. Along the white edges, you can see sort of a red fringing. And that's what chromatic aberration is. It'll occur in your images where very light edges meet very dark edges. And you'll see a little bit of a red fringe. Sometimes it'll be blue or cyan or a bit of green. Let's go and fix this. Above the basic panel, we're going to select the icon for the lens correction panel. And we're going to choose the red cyan fringe slider and drag it to the left. If I go right down about there, you can see that the red fringe is gone, but now I have introduced a little bit of a yellowish green. So I'm going to go down to this blue-yellow fringe slider and drag this to the left. About down there, looks pretty good. Now I've got a pretty clean line between the light and dark edges. I'm going to toggle the preview on and off. Here's where we started from. So you can see now those reds are really popping out. And here is our fix. Much better. 3 common image problems, 3 easy solutions in Camera Raw.